Well, let's try this in the AM mode. The question in the morning is Carla awake, W7MS?
Good morning, Mike. I heard you on sideband there. I was wondering if something was wrong with my stuff. Yeah, Carl will be here just a few minutes. I'm just monitoring the frequency. W7MS K0DWC.
Well, okay, Chuck. I'm sure you got a pot of coffee brewed, and everybody will be ready to go in a few minutes. But good morning, W7MS.
Okay, Mike. For the record, I've got you in the number 1 spot this morning. You are sitting on the front row.
Good morning, W6JRY.
Well, there's a pleasant sound that I haven't heard in a while. Good morning, Jerry. Welcome back, sir. We've missed you. I hope you and Sharon are doing well, and hopefully you'll give us an update on what's going on over there in Forest Ranch. You're sounding good this morning. I got you in the number 2 spot, Jerry. So go ahead and make the transmission, and you can send it to Mike if you want, W7MS, and then back to me. Mike, go ahead, Jerry.
Okay. Morning, Chuck. Mike. W6JRY. Down here in the icebox ham shack. Kind of a cold, cloudy day here, but I don't think this will last anyway. We'll get back to our 70 degrees by Monday. Oh, anyway, yeah, a lot of stuff going on, but figured I better turn some of this stuff on here and see if it still works. And I managed to get myself down here in the radio room, and so I'm not doing too bad. So both you sound really good. Looks like conditions are going to be great because you're both like over the S9 mark on the S meter here and so on. So W7MS, W6JRY.
Well, okay, Jerry. Yeah, good signal. Nice to hear you this morning. And we're running carrier and lower sideband this morning with usual restricted audio from a sideband filter. But good morning to you, and again, Chuck. And yeah, great day. It's going to start to warm up again. Had about a ½ inch of snow on the colder surfaces of the earth yesterday, like the lawn, and snowed for several hours, light snow, and then went away. So not too bad, but definitely a return to early spring weather, but not unusual. But looking forward to Monday and the warming temperatures. So back to you, Chuck, if you're available, or anyone else that wishes to be, I guess, number 3 W7MS.
W6 SSP is here.
Okay, this is W4DBQ next control. Thank you. Good morning to all. Let's see. Steve, W6SSP, I have you in the number 3 spot. And Bill, N6, probably Charlie Tango, I got you in the number 4 spot. Is there anybody else out there want to be an early check-in? Please come now.
Check in. East Southwest 47 YBS.
Well, good morning, Henry. I got you in the number 5 spot. So is there anybody else out there want to be number 6 for an early check-in? Come now.
NU6F.
Well, good morning, Ron. NU6F. Got you in the number 6 spot. Is there anybody else out there? Just one more time, see if anybody else is out there. Want to be an early check-in, please come now. put Chuck in the number 7 spot. So as it stands right now, in the number 1 spot, I have Mike, W7MS. In the number 2 spot, I have Jerry, W6JRY. Number 3 spot, I have Steve, W6FFT. And the number 4 spot, I have Bill, W6BCT. Number 5 spot, I have Henry, WA7YBS. Number 6 spot, I have Ron, NU6F. And the number 7 spot, I have Chuck, K0DWC. So, before we before I open the net, let me check one more time, see if there's anybody who wants to be number 8. Please come now. I heard something, but no voice. I heard radio equipment. But, okay, I'll go ahead and get the net going here. This is W4DBQ. This is the vintage military radio net. And my name is Carla, and I'm going to be your net control this morning. I think I'm having a problem. We will be operating on 3974 KC. The vintage military radio net is a round table AM net that provides an opportunity for hams to operate their vintage military radio gear on the air. Military gear is encouraged, but certainly not required. Just check in with whatever you have. We'll check you in. Check-ins will be given a number that can be used in the handoff. I will call for check-ins at the end of each roundtable session. And if you have anything for sale or want, please mention it during your turn on the table. So, hang on. I'm W4DBQ, Carla, this morning, and I am on the ART-13 with the ARR7 and the D104 microphone. That's my equipment rundown, and I'm going to sit here and listen to everybody while I have my first cup of coffee. So I'm handing it over to Mike, W7MS, to take it. This is W4DBQ.
Well, thanks, Carla. W4DBQ in the vintage military net, Nevada style, antique modulation style, W7MS Mike and Reno. Good morning to one and all. Nice to hear Jerry. Steve, I'm sure, is going to give us a swap meet report from Sonoma. Looking forward to that. Good morning, Frank. Nice to know your voice is back. Good to hear you this morning. Henry, Ron, and Chuck. Good morning to all of you guys. This morning, running the GRC 106, about 400 watts peak envelope power, carrier and lower sideband, and that's the difference. A week ago Friday, obtained a pair of crystals from Dave, MQI, at the military vehicle collectors meet that he had purchased for his 106 project, which was long put in the dustbin of history, and decided to install just the lower sideband crystal into one of my IF modules and do a little experimentation, since I think I can come up with a better way to do the modification. One of that is to use steering diodes, switching diodes, and can all these relays that some of the previous owners have used in their modification articles. So I'm still kind of digesting how I want to approach the upper sideband, lower sideband modification on this. But currently we're lower sideband with a lower sideband crystal filter in the 106 RT. So maybe too much conversation, but over to Jerry, W6JRY, W7MS.
Okay, thank you, Mike. W7MS and the group W6JRY at Forest Ranch, California. And very good morning to all. Looks like going to be good conditions. Everybody is, I've heard so far, is quite good. My noise level is down this morning, and but I dragged myself down here and turn this stuff on and see if it still works. We're on the 32V3 transmitter, 75A4 receiver, and D104 microphone. And the antenna is the Delta Loop antenna that we have for 75 meters. So yeah, we've had a lot of project yard work, that type of thing going on around here. Then the weather turned a little cool for a couple days here, and I've had a tough time trying to get my carcass out of bed in the mornings, but I got it managed today here anyway. Had a very nice dinner and party at my daughter's last night with my kids and some of my grandkids and stuff, because I just passed my 90th birthday. So anyway, I'll send it over there to Steve. W6SSP and the group, W6JRY.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. W6JRY, W6SSP. Happy birthday. Wow, 90. Amazing. You guys make me feel young, but I'm not. Anyway, good morning to all. Carla, thank you for taking the net. Jerry, really good to hear you on again. It's been a while. And let's see. Okay, the equipment here is the usual Collins 32V1 transmitter. 85 watts out, D104 microphone, and 75A1 receiver, dipole about 30 feet up or so. And I have a question for the group, an antenna question. Something I was thinking about the other day. I hear a number of people using full wave loops, and a number of advantages to those. Low angle of radiation, lower noise than a dipole. And it got me thinking about it, and I wonder if it would be possible to set up a loop nailed to the eaves, the underside of the eaves around the perimeter of the house. Now, I know there would be all kinds of problems with that, with metal gutters and who knows what else, but I wonder if that is a possibility for those of us that don't have towers or high altitude or things like that. Anyway, wondering if anybody could make comments on that. And let's see, on the next round, I'll give a after-action report of the snow swap. Had a blast there. Attendance was a little lower than normal, but still a lot of good stuff showed up, and I'll get into that on the next pass. Over to Bill, N6BCT, W6SSP. Okay, Bill. N6BCT WA7YBS. All right. And good morning to all. Mike, Jerry, Steve, Bill, Ron, Chuck, and Carla. Okay. Well, signals are down a little bit today, at least here. I mean, you guys are all Q5 and doing pretty good, but I don't, nobody is, well, except for Carla,
and Chuck, I don't have full quieting on anybody. So that's interesting. And let's check a little more carrier in here. That ought to be a little better. And anyway, we are on the KWS-1. Mike is running lower sideband with the reinserted carrier. I'm running upper sideband with reinserted carrier. So anyway, last time I had the KWS-1 on, I ran lower sideband, so this time I thought I'd try upper sideband to be more like a military rig. Of course, you know, everybody knows that the KWS-1 and 75A4 were a lot of Mars stations back in the late 50s and stuff. So there's quite a military association with the KWS-1 and the 75A4. The receiver is a 75A4. And so anyway, we're running probably about 150 watts or so of carrier power. And it looks pretty good on the scope, I guess. And but who knows? Last time I ran the KWS-1, I did run a 10D, a 10D8, a static microphone, a dynamic microphone. I'm on a D104 now, and so we'll see what the audio reports are, if they're any different. I think probably not. I think that the audio is just going to be what it is. It's a sideband transmitter, so it's going to be that. And the collinear array for the antenna. And we didn't get really too much. We got a lot of rain, drizzle, and that sort of stuff yesterday. It's 38 degrees this morning. And I saw snow pellets, you know, the little pellet things that fly around there. That's all we got was some of that. Nothing really stuck yesterday. So anyway, let's turn it over to Ron, NU6F WA7 YBS.
Okay, let's see if I got it. About as much as I ever would. Good morning, guys, and good hearing you all in there. And yeah, I agree with Henry. Signals are all down, but there's not a lot of QSB. So all in all, not that bad. Which, and since I'm using the SDR274 with not a lot of AGC, I don't have to ride the volume control much. You guys are all about the same, of course, except for Mike and Henry. And for the heck of it, let me switch antennas again here, and let's see. This is the long wire, and this is the loop. This is the mag loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, mag loop, and back over to the long wire. Now, at least looking at KFF, the loop is consistently a couple of dB better. But anyhow, that's because it's probably vertically polarized too. And okay, Mike, I feel like, for a change, my lowly SCR274N has got more to its signal than either you or Henry. Or Henry just with the KWS-1 and only an upper sideband, and Mike with only a lower sideband. And here I am with both of them, but I'm not gonna gloat over that. All right, good hearing you guys in there. Carla, good deal. Hopefully you and you and Henry will have nothing more than the little snow pellets that we had here. We had the snow yesterday morning; it barely stuck, and of course all gone. And now I saw we just kind of slush occasionally. And congratulations, Jerry, on the big 90. Wow, I got 15 to go. I don't know if I'm going to be, this side of the microphone by then or not. But more power to you, out in the yard doing work. Except, of course, wait for it to warm up again, like you say. Okay, with that, Take it away, Carla, and I guess you'll probably wait for another check-in. NU6F.
Actually, it goes to Chuck, K0DWC. Go ahead, Chuck.
Okay, Carla, W4DVQ, K0DWC. All right, well, good morning to everybody. No problems with anybody, even Bill's coming in pretty darn good. Mike, the 106 sounds really, really good. You sound real military, and I don't know if that's a byproduct of the sideband filter, but I mean, your audio is sounds like it should be on a GRC 106. So great job there. Jerry, you got a fantastic signal in here this morning, just pounding in here, as is Steve. Steve's got a really great signal this morning. And Bill, you're Q5. And of course, Henry's rattling the dust on the windows this morning. Good morning, Henry. And, and Ron, you're doing the same thing, no problem with you. Like you said, there's just a tad bit of QSB, but it's negligible. I did want to, I'll give you an antenna report, Ron. Carl and I both thought the long wire just barely made it as the best antenna, at least here anyway. It sounded a little bit more crisp, a little bit more clear on the long wire. So anyway, that's our report to you on that. And I want to wish Jerry a happy 90th birthday. Congratulations, Jerry. Milestone birthday. You sound fantastic. You and Bill, I think Bill is 92 or 93, and you're 90 years old. I mean, you guys are unbelievably fantastic. Great job doing all that, and congratulations to both of you. I thought, I heard Mike say he heard Frank. We heard something, but we didn't hear any audio, and I heard Mike say that something about Frank's voice coming back. So Mike, you must have heard Frank in there. Frank, KB0W, are you on frequency? Over.
Okay, thank you, Chuck. This is KB0W in South Lake Tahoe. I'm having dickens of a time here with the noise level. I have a noise level that's S9 to 5 over, so I'm having a hard time hearing people. But I'll make one transmission. I'm running a Viking 500, about 260 watts, a 75A4, and a full-size 75-meter dipole at about 60 feet today, and a D104 microphone. I'll be making one transmission, but listening out. I'm having a problem with my voice. I don't have much of one because of treatment I'm in. But I wanted to say that I have a Hammerland SP600, a restored one, that was fully restored, powder-coated W6MIT restored some of it electrically, that I'd like to gift to anybody who will come up and take it. I can no longer move the thing, and it's in perfect condition it looks like it's in perfect condition in my closet, and I'd be happy to give it to anybody that would like to come up to Tahoe and take it. Quick weather report. Snowing here right now, about 26 degrees. We had about 4 inches of snow. Most of it's gone now, so it was just a spring nuisance storm. Anyways, I wanted to say good morning to everybody, and thank you very much, Carla, for running the net. Sure appreciate it. I won't be making another transmission, but I'll be listening out. And I think I turn it over to Carla now. If it's not Carla, whoever takes it, and thanks a lot. W4DVQ, KB0W in South Lake Tahoe.
Okay, KB0W. Good to hear you, Frank. And 73 to you. Thanks for stopping in. And you're more than welcome to butt back in if you feel like it. But okay, let me see if there's anybody else out there who'd like to check in. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Well, this is going to be our second round, but before that, I'm going to say a little bit. Happy birthday, Jerry. And if it makes you feel any better, we're only 30 years apart. So, it don't feel so bad that way. But congratulations on that. And, Ron, I got that email with the QSL card. Thank you for that. That was, I was looking at the date on that. And I already forgot what it said. 2018. And so thanks for that. Dadnabbit, I done forgot what I was going to say. Okay, well, the Ford, the 51 Ford, I haven't been able to do a lot on it the last few days. It's been kind of nasty. But Chuck's been doing some little weird stuff on her, but that's about it. Waiting on parts and stuff, and then I start my new job tomorrow. Kind of excited about that. I have to get out of the restaurant business. It's just not me. So I'll be even closer to the house, just down the street, and be making Harley Davidson gaskets. I'm going to be a floater. And they're going to start me out printing. So that's going to be interesting. So it'll be a full check. And straight hours, 8 hours a day. I'm excited about it. So with that, guys, let's start round number 2. Well, real quick, let me double check before I pass it. Is there anybody want to join us on round 2 or get in on the tail end of the first round? Go ahead, please. Okay, up to you, Mike. W7MS, W4DBQ.
Well, thank you, Carla. W4DBQ, W7MS, Mike in Reno. And, Frank, I sent you a text message. I didn't want to interrupt you on the previous text message from last weekend based on your immediate challenges, but this is public information. I decided to respond. So check your phone. And let me see here. Well, happy birthday to Jerry. Happy 90th. Congratulations on that. A good signal. And I think you and I are basically the only folks that are on 3974. And that's not a critical comment, but since I'm receiving in lower sideband and not AM, I'm constantly fiddling my receiver incremental tuning, or actually having to change my kilohertz decade to land on various frequencies, something that would be an observation if you were on a real AM receiver. So here I am on fake AM and listening on a lower sideband receiver. So it's a challenge, but a real challenge with Henry is Henry is deducing, since we're in incompatible sidebands here with the carrier. It's interesting. I do hear Henry, but what I recover, of course, is his suppressed lower sideband. So it's and he doesn't have that issue on his end. He has a real AM receiver. So that was something I didn't even I've never taken into consideration. So if I did have the complete mod done with switchable upper and lower sideband facilities with the GRC 106, that wouldn't be a receive issue, or at least it would be less of a challenging receive issue. But still hear you, Henry. But and then of course that's no criticism of your suppressed sideband issues, but there's enough coming through that I could pull in that rare DX on the opposing sideband. But let me see. Great stories. I'm still looking forward to the steals and deals from Steve. He said it was a great swap, and I would expect with the mixed bag on the weather forecast that may have suppressed some attendance. But I did make a point yesterday morning to check the Weather Channel, and it was just kind of cloudy with the breeze. So I think it wasn't clear skies, but at least it wasn't wet ground. And speaking of that, I looked out the window during the interim as I made a visit to a certain room in the house here. And it's snowing again. There is white stuff falling out of the sky. So another exciting weather report from this station. And nice to hear Ron on the 274N. And that cursed lack of AGC in the 274N receivers, and there's the irony where you can do a modification to modify it to an ABC system, but of course you sacrifice CW reception because there's only a limited amount of diode rectification available in that receiver. It's an interesting phenomenon. But what else here as I blither blather? Oh yes, Rod's QSL cards. That was quite a surprise, and I responded to Ron, and he responded to me because I noticed the start and stop time for the QSL card was the same. So I thought it could have been, as I had mentioned, a code burst antique modulation, but he said it was, probably a really fast contact there. One of those 5.9 responses there in the contest situation. But over to Steve. Oh yeah, the antenna issue. My only real-world experience, and we all know the answer is, I had that in my house up above the. Back when I used to be somebody in the big house up above the Lake Ridge Golf Course there, and did a full-wave loop in the east of the house due to antenna restrictions. And all the usual issues of, maybe picking up noise sources in the house or the neighborhood. But the most interesting one was, and I've told this story numerous times, was the setting off the smoke alarm in the radio operating room, and because it was actually smoking. So I destroyed a smoke carbon monoxide detector in the house, literally. So that was an interesting operating event, and of course, while transmitting, probably on the old Saturday morning net, way back in history. So with that, over to you, Steve. W6SSP, W7MS.
Okay, I think it goes over to Jerry, W6JR1. Pick it up, Jerry.
Yeah, okay, very good from everybody. W7MS in the group, W6JRY. Fine, everybody's got very good signals in here this morning. And Ron, you're sounding great. I like the audio there. Mike, the audio's really fits my ears there with your GR106. And QSL on on Ron, the QSL thing. I got that. I didn't quite figure all of that out or anything, but I'll get back to it when I get some time. I've had a lot of jobs around here. Although I have been on some of the HF frequencies. I'm finding that this sunspot cycle is not panning out to be all that great, but there has been some activity that's been able to work make some pretty good contacts, chasing special events when we do get on the air, and yeah, it's getting harder and harder to keep up 4 acres around here. That's for sure. And Bill, N6BCT, copying you okay today. You're about the lowest one in level, but still up, very copyable. And Henry on your KWS-1, 150 watts, a good signal in here. Ron on the antenna switching, I couldn't really tell too much difference between the two of them with the QSB, and it isn't very heavy QSB, it's just a little bit. I couldn't tell a lot of difference between the switch back and forth there on that. Let's see here, my notes. Frank there, very, very strong here with your setup there with your Viking 500 and dipole. I've heard you, I think, one other time before. Trying to think of anything else here to comment on. Yeah, one thing that I've started changing around here is going to electric tools. I've give up on my my weed eater that was two-cycle gas engine, trying to get rid of all of the gas engine stuff around here, but it's kind of a pain to deal with some of the batteries that come with some of these things. Although I think some of those things you can't even get in California anymore. Anyway, let me move it along to Steve there. W6SSP in the group, W6JRY.
Okay, very good, Jerry. SWR's jumping up. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Well, Jerry, you've got one kind of signals here today. Quite a bit of QSB on the Nevada stations. It's just conditions are really different. Not quite as good as last weekend, but still Q5 for most of you. Mike, Johnson 106 sounds great, and Henry, KWS-1 also sounds great. Both of you with Subar, but good audio quality and perfect copy, so good. Let's see, let's talk about the Sonoma swap yesterday. That was interesting. I work for these things. I had a blast. Turnout was kind of odd. We did have south rain, but when I got there before 6 o'clock, it was clear, hardly any clouds in the sky. I didn't see any rain until I got home and started unloading. So the weather really cooperated. The interesting thing about this swap is there were more sellers than buyers. That's usually the other way around, but not this time. I think the people away. Didn't see Tom, OPE, or Richard, AWO. Neither one of those were there, but a number of other people did show up. Tom, W6TOM, and his buddy Vern were both there selling. And so a whole bunch of folks over at Eastern Liquid at HP, so this one was more of a social event than most ham swaps. Anyway, as far as boat anchors, military boat anchors go, there was an R808, which is a radio receiver used by the Marines. In production is at the same time as the I-392. It's one of the worst military receivers I've ever used. I've got a couple of them. The limit was there was prepared with some missing meter wires sticking out of it and stuff like that. There were a number of ARC-5 transmitters there. None on the ham bands, quite cheap, $5 or so each. Some of those sold. One fella had some of the Vietnam War radios, and there are two different styles. He had both of them, boxes of them. I didn't see any interest in those there. Let's see what else. Boat anchors. I don't see anything else on the list. So not much in the way of the military boat anchors. There was, I think the best deal of the day was a Johnson Viking, along with the 122 VFO for $50 for the pair. I thought that was pretty good. Both of them were very, very beat up. And let's see, what I came home with was a freq Eastman FE15, which is a TRF receiver. This thing is in mint condition. It's like new with the tubes working. $25, I'll put and pass that up. I'm always probably familiar with these. I have the other two versions of the freq Eastman TRF, so it's kind of an alphabet. I also picked up a couple of fuel package spectrum analyzers to work on. I was looking for projects, so I thought that would find those. Oh, well, I can't think of anything else. Oh, yeah. The younger ham that lives close to me showed up, KW6 SEO. Also at the TRP station. I just throwing the wire up in the trees and used a QRP Labs QMX to make contacts. I've never seen anything quite like that. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, enough blabbering from me. What's on hand bar? 96 ACT W6 SSP. Okay, Bill. N6BCDWA7YBS. All right. And good copy on everybody. And so let's see. Yeah, two nonagenarians on there. They're Jerry and Bill. Bill's birthday is May the 4th, so it's coming up. I think he's going to be 93. And so anyway, happy birthday to both of you guys. Ron, NU6F. I thought that the loop actually had a little edge over the long wire here. Anyway, not so much in an S-meter situation, but for some reason, and maybe it's the bandwidth of the antenna, because the long wire is going to be a pretty narrow bandwidth. Cube of the loop might be quite a bit wider. Anyway, you had a lot more audio highs using the loop, which made it sound louder, although I don't know that you really, that the S-meter was all that much different, as far as carrier, but the audio seemed to be quite a bit more present, I guess you'd say, because of the highs. It's probably, like I say, the long wire is probably a pretty narrow bandwidth. So anyway, Steve, FE15, Street Eisman, and
yeah, I mean, those guys, I mean, they liked using that black polished Bakelite or Formica or whatever the heck it was on the front panels of those battery sets, Nutridynes. And of course, they're always, you know, if they're in good condition, they're beautiful sets. That was Street Eisman's trademark, I guess you'd say. And that and the fact that they were one of the independent radio manufacturers, so they could build Nutridynes. And yeah, I know what that one is. Loop antenna on the eaves. Yeah, I think it's the same. There was a guy who was a collector and lived around, well, he lived at the base of the hill in Virginia City, and that guy, he became a ham, but I don't remember his call. But he would load up anything. He got a metal umbrella, you know, a patio umbrella, and he loaded up the umbrella and actually was making contacts with it, probably about 8 feet in diameter or so. And you know, the guy, he would try loading up anything. And I was actually surprised at some of the stuff he tried and would work. He would make contacts with it. So, but I think there are drawbacks to a full-wave loop around the house. I know around here all I pick up is noise. And so anyway, that's the rundown on that. Let's see, KWS-1. I know last week I reported that the DC supply to the antenna relay, the load resistor, had burned in two. It was due to happen when you're running a an AC solenoid type Dow key relay on DC voltage. I fixed that problem externally to the KWS-1. I replaced the burned up resistor with the correct type of resistor, 2-watt carbon. And but externally, I put a load resistor to drop the voltage, that DC voltage, down to 24 volts to drive a 110 volt AC Dow key relay. Works fine. And of course, now that 2-watt resistor only has to dissipate 3/4 of a watt, so it'll probably last a while. So that's the rundown. Let's turn it over to Ron. And what do you think about that? The bandwidth and the audio is sounding a little better on the loop. Does that make sense? NU6FWA7YBS.
Okay, down the monitor volume here. Well, okay, gang, and thanks for the info on the antenna swap and what difference it made. That's interesting. You know, I want to look at the scope now you say that. Okay, this is a long wire. And, oh yeah, definitely. Okay, I see what's happening. Yeah, the amplifier is not quite linear. Okay, let me try retuning the audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. 4. That's weird. Okay. Well, the amplifier is much more linear, feeding the. I'm sure it just has to do with drive level or something else, but it's much more linear with the with the loop. Let me change the loading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Oh well, hang it up. It's only AS. All right, guys. Well, thanks for the checks on all of that. Henry, okay on the KWS-1 and the no more default resistor for the antenna relay. And let's see. What's the name here? Steve, okay on that TRF receiver. And 90th birthday. Yeah, here we got 2 of them. Wow, that's pretty cool. And let's see, Carla, okay, on the 51 Ford. Well, I was over at Larry's 2 days this week, trying to get get that engine in the M37 to run decently again. But no, it's not the carburetor this time. It's the it's the distributor. So I had a heck of a time with that thing, and you can't adjust it on the vehicle. You have to pull the complete distributor and coil, and it's not fun. But anyhow, already, it's like anything else. Already worked on something 4 or 5 times. Yeah, you don't want to look at it again, but yeah, if I can only get the distributor out and get it tweaked, why, yeah, the engine will be running great again. And Jerry, okay on, band conditions. Yeah, started out, looked like we were going to have a great sunspot cycle, but not so much. And yeah, trying to find CW contacts is pretty tough. The other day, there was literally, I guess it was around 7:30 in the morning, and there was nobody on 40 CW. And I was ready to hang it up and go on up to 30 and 17. But no, I heard V85 NTV in Pune, and so we had a short QSO, but there literally was nobody else on the band. And as far as QSL cards, yeah, don't worry about returning QSL cards to anyone. Like I told Mike, I get so many requests for QSL cards from my Azores location, and actually it's been kind of irritating. I have guys, claiming they had QSOs with me and sending me another envelope with $5 saying return a QSO, and I'm saying, I'm sorry, I don't see you on the log, and well, you must have made it. Oh gosh, on and on and on. And anyhow, so yeah, I got one EQSO from somebody, or a couple of them, and I said, maybe I'll just go that route. So yeah, so I got on one of the sites, I forgot which one it was, QSL World or something. Opened up an account and followed the stuff on QRZ website to upload an ADIF file of my logs, and boy, once I did and sent them out, I wanted to selectively send a couple, but I couldn't figure it out. I said, oh well, forget it. We'll use the shotgun approach with double-aught buck, and so out went 5,000 QSL cards in very short time. Let's see, what else? Getting ready for the Azores operation. Been packing up, making up more gear, smaller stuff that I can pack with me. For the 630 meter station, I have a couple of guys in the European low frequency, medium frequency crowd that are expecting that even with the poor conditions during the summer, that I will probably be able to pull off some contacts with England. That seems to be their thinking at this point. So we'll see. I may not have any real good contacts until October, when I'm almost ready to leave. And Mike, yeah, that's pretty good on the real smoke alarm and a loop around the eaves. Yeah, that beats me turning off my neighbor's hot tub all the time. So Steve, there you go. Yeah, that's my only experience with antennas around the house. It's just noisier than heck, and yeah, a lot of incidental RF, so it's a last resort, I guess. But anyhow, let's see, I had one other thing to say here, but it escaped me for now. Well, so much for that. All right, guys, with that, go ahead and take it away, Chuck. And what are you doing on that 51 Ford? You go DWC and use success.
Okay, Ron, NU6F, K0 DWC. righty. Well, I wanted to say 7-3s to Frank. I know Frank was listening out, but I wanted to say 7-3s to you, Frank. And I got to tell you, your voice sounded great. You had a great signal in here to Dayton Valley this morning. So my hat is off to you, sir. That Viking 500 is a beast. But glad you didn't get too much snow up there. We didn't get anything over here where we live in Dayton Valley. But, I mean, we got a little bit of rain and stuff. It rained all night the other night, but I haven't seen any snow or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, Ron, basically right now I'm just waiting on some parts. I've got a water temperature sending unit coming for the passenger side cylinder head, and the thermal switch. The only reason it's a sending unit too, but the only reason they call it a thermal switch is because it's got double contact on the passenger or on the driver's side cylinder head. Waiting on that, and you know, it's just right now it's just little things. I've got a new set of 160-degree thermostats coming for it. I'm waiting on that. And I found a special small booklet on 49 to 51 electrical wiring diagrams too that I want to kind of look at and study. All it does is it just stays with the electrical part of the vehicle. Trying to gather as much information on the car as I can. We've never had a 51. We've had a 50. There are some subtle differences between them. Very subtle, but different nonetheless. But you know, right now it's just stuff like that. I got the windshield wipers working. I got to go get 5 feet of 5/8 heater hose and reroute the lines. I don't know who did it, but they cut off some of the lines going to the heater core, and then they rerouted one hose to go from the front of the motor, or from the back of the motor to the front of the motor. So that's all got to be corrected, and you know, just stuff like that right now. Eventually, we're going to have to take it down to get a front end alignment on it, front end check, front and rear camber on it, just to see where we're at on it. But right now, that's about all I'm doing on it. Trying to get all the gauges work now except for the water temperature. So the gas gauge works now, and oil pressure. I still got to work on the stern box. I got to make an adjustment there on that, and check it with to see how it jives with the position of the steering wheel, and all that kind of jazz. But you know, it's just been miserable enough the last 2 or 3 days that you really don't want to go out there and do anything. So anyway, that's kind of what the story is on that. But I don't know, it's kind of fun. But I got to admit, though, I don't have the 100% passion I had 40 years ago when I was, you know, 25 or 26, 27 years old. I've been doing this stuff for a long, long time, and got away from it for a little bit, and then got back on it about 15 years ago, and I was hurt then. I couldn't do a whole lot, and ended up getting rid of those vehicles, and now I'm back doing it again. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. You know, it don't take much for me to get wore out anymore. I think some of you guys might understand what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'll keep it going. And oh, Henry, I forgot to tell you too. Your KWS-1 sounds great. You got great audio, and you sound military too over here. But it's pretty cool that you're doing the upper sideband reinserted carrier, and Mike's doing the lower sideband. So that's kind of a neat deal. Anyway, I'll send it back up to net control to Carla. W4 DBQ to take it, K0 DWC.
Okay, K0 DWC, this is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor Quebec. Okay, let me just check and see maybe if Vern's up and awake and able to make a transmission and join us on the 73 round. Let me make a call out. Is there anybody out there who would like to join us and get in on the tail end of the second round? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So guys, we're going to start the 73 round, but first, oh Mike, you are in so much trouble. No texting during the net. But okay. So anyhow, go ahead guys, 73 round, up to you Mike. W7MS, this is W4DBQ.
Well, thank you, Carla. And I have taken your tongue lashing to heart here. W4DBQ, W7MS again, and it stopped snowing. It's just wet outside, so that's nice. And still great conditions. My apologies on the handoff, Jerry. I was looking at my sheet of paper, and yes, you are number 2, but for some reason it didn't have the cognation, recognition, whatever, screwed that one up. But again, congratulations on the D-Day observance and toughing it out there in the chiller room there with this little return to wintertime activity. Steve, great on the swaps report and the comments on the 808. But congratulations on your finds in the social activity, which is always a lot of fun. And let me see here. And Henry, yeah, I beat the incompatibility issue as I just discovered that all I had to do was swap antenna leads temporarily to test receiver, which is right next to the GRC 106. It's the Harris RF 550, and listen to AM with both sidebands. You sounded great on the Harris RF 550, so an easy way to get around that one. And yeah, Ron's issues, yeah, I took a listen there, and I did hear a difference in your comments to Henry there, of course on the 550, and decided to, out of curiosity, because I had yet to sweep the stock upper sideband filter in a GRC 106, and I knew this would be correct, but I'm losing about a kilohertz to top end frequency response. The replacement filters are only probably about 2.5, and the original upper sideband filters more like around 3.5 in bandwidth. So that's a one drawback to this conversion. And of course, that's a Uber filter. The stock filter is the Uber filter with extreme great specifications from phase delay and et cetera, based on its application, especially for FSK. But let me see what else here. Well, the rundown on the 51 Ford Special. It's keeping you busy, and I do have to admit, I did a little Facebook Marketplace search, and I found the listing there in beautiful downtown Montana. It looks great, and some great pictures. So I was able to do a little Rockford Files private investigation activity on that, and found that. And unless that's a coincidence that there was a doppelganger 51 Ford Special in the same great state, but that's you can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But with that, 7-3s from Reno. Everybody have a great one, and I'll get the pass on correct here. And I also don't want to get into any deeper trouble with net control. W6JRY, W7MS.
Okay, Mike, W7MS and the group W6JRY. Still everything holding in. Been very, very good conditions today. Signals from everybody have been quite nice. There is QSB is starting to get a little bit deeper. Makes it difficult to fire antenna switching and some audio things when the QSB is up and down there a little bit. So it's kind of hard to do some comparison, especially when things are close. Anyway, projects here. I've got a project going. I had to renew my license this year, and I run into, and I was having some problems with that. I run into a fairly new amateur radio operator who's an IT tech down at the university here, Chico University, part of the state university system. But he's the IT tech down there, and he's been licensed since 2016, I think. But he's just mostly operates. He's never done any construction work, building, putting projects together and anything like that. And anyway, he come up and helped me renew my license, and I've lost 3 or 4 of my amateur radio friends this year, and so trying to locate new ones. Anyway, he wanted to build a project from the 1930s or something like that, and you know, a small project, and so I went back in some of the things I put together. My favorite and project guy back in the 80s and 90s was Bob Dennison. He was a big contributor to electric radio, and he really had some neat projects and so on. One of my favorite ones I picked out, it's a friend of mine, he wanted to build a receiver, and audio components and so on like that. So I've been putting together, I went through some of the receivers that Bob had done, and I picked out one that was one of the triplex or twinplex receiver projects using a Rim G16. It's one of the twin tubes, and it was one of the better ones that I put together as far as the generating receiver goes, so I picked that out, and it doesn't have too many parts to it, but I'm putting together a kit, fixing it up. You know, I'm doing things that he don't have the tools for and can't do. I'm kind of making it up as kind of like a heat kit or something, so he can he's going to rip key times, and I'm going to help him. I don't think he's even did a lot of soldering or anything like that. He's a whiz on computers, and he's helped me with the computer right a number of times. Yeah, my downfall is computers anymore. I had to replace my station computer here, and my grandson, who is into all that kind of stuff in the Army, told him bring what I want, bring something inexpensive and something that I can use, and I need to put a logging program in there. I'm still doing paper logs, so anyway, he ordered some stuff for me, and ended up getting a 3-solid screen for down here, and when they give me the computer, it really was a surprise, because the thing is only 2 inches by 4 inches or something like that, the whole computer. So, don't know how long it'll last, but sure, it works fine. Amazing what they're doing now with all the solid state stuff. And anyway, also one of the another thing I did help with was the tower climbing too. So every 10 years I lose the chain on my rotor up on my 60-foot tower, which I have a prop pitch motor that I've had for forever, and it drives a Selson with a bicycle chain, more or less, with 2 sprockets, and they seize up about every 10 years and break. I used to be able to go up and lubricate them, but anyway, I got one that's broken up there, so I got to get a climber to get up there and get a new chain back on that setup. It's kind of crude, but I'll tell you, those prop pitch motors just seem to last forever. Other than that, I've still got a few projects going, and I need to rotate through some of my equipment. I still have a problem with my T74N setup. It's just not getting the audio out of it. It's the way I've got it put together here. It's pretty hard to work on, but that'll be summer coming up, and this being in the basement down here, it's always cooler, and hope to get some of these projects worked on. So anyway, 73's to all. Enjoyed getting it back in here. Hope I can get myself up and going and get back on as things warm up around here. So over to you there, Steve, and yeah, just looking at my notes here. Oh, on Chuck, on the vehicle thing. I kind of quit working on the darn things when you'd raise the hood and you couldn't see the ground anymore. And that's a problem with, boy, the new ones now are really something to work on. So an old one isn't so bad. You know, when you can lift the hood and lift both sides of the engine, you can see the ground. Well, it isn't too tough getting around them, but boy, it's just about impossible. They've make them now to where you're not supposed to repair them. Like radio equipment, you know, disposable. Throw it away and get another one. Over to you, Steve, and 73's to all. We'll be listening out. W6SSP in the group, W6JRY.
Okay, very good, Jerry. And yeah. Yeah, kudos to you, first of all, for helping out a young girl and getting them interested by building a regenerative receiver. I would suggest Project MR52 Thursday in one of the ER magazines called The Ultimate Regen. Using a 16-port and a fairly simple circuit, 2-stage audio amplifier. Actually, regen circuit as I've ever used, and it's the one I use on everything now. So take a look at that. But I found that one by going through everything. Let's see, Henry, that SB600 that Frank offered, the short version, it was part of the MIT to get home next to the 2 transmitters you have. Anyway, I hope you or Mike or Chuck will it. And the SB600 has always had a very special place in my heart. It was the very first high-performance receiver I ever saw when I was 12 years old. At the time, everything I had was on board. And lucky to make a contact across the city, original postal color burst crystal on 3.579 megacycles. Well, I can still remember when I first saw that thing, which is what, 58 years ago now. I still remember walking into Ken's shack and seeing that thing and just hearing the beautiful audio and seeing all those knobs and that beautiful front row. So it's an image I will never ever forget. So one of you guys pick up that SP600. I got enough already. Okay guys, conditions are fading quite a bit, so we'll pass on the bill. So you all up for 16 DCT, W6 SSP.
Okay, well, I don't hear a carrier anymore, so I think Bill turned it over to me. Bill, you just faded into oblivion there. It doesn't happen very often. But usually I can receive just about anybody, but today's one of those days. Okay, well, I guess we'll say 73. Everybody have a good week coming up. And I'm adjusting the carrier level, not that we really need to do that, but at any rate, I'll be net control next week. I got a new microphone for the big rig, the W6MIT big rig, and so I want to debut it next week and see if I can get some opinions on that microphone versus the one I'd been using, which is the Electro Voice 664. But at any rate, this is a different microphone, so we'll tell everybody what it is, the mystery mic, next week. 73 all around. Everybody have a good one, and over to Ron, NU6FWA 7YBS.
Okay, good deal. Well, I'm anxiously awaiting the new microphone. I'll make sure I'm using a real receiver and not the lowly ARC 5 receiver, because everybody sounds the same. Even the QRN from the next door neighbor sounds the same. I have no idea what it is they have, but boy, it's very strong. Actually, on the long wire, I actually hear much less of it, and even though other than that, listening on the loop is so much better with so little background noise, except for whatever it is the next door neighbor has. It's been flagging 75 meters. Well, anyhow, that's the deal. And yeah, there you go, Henry. Like Steve says, I think Frank's ST600. You've got your name on it. Yeah, you're going to have to add that to the MIT collection. And Chuck, okay, on the gauges, cooling system, and the steering. I guess at least you have it at this point where Carla stays in the lane and not moving around too much. That would be kind of unnerving. And Steve, yeah, you mentioned the color burst crystal. I forgot all about that. That's right. That used to be one of the cheap and easy crystals to find for your early rigs back in the 60s. So yeah, fond memories of that. And I missed out not hearing the squirrel report from Vern, but hope springs eternal. Hopefully next week. Oh, I know one other thing I forgot to mention. It's kind of interest to Jerry. I was tuning up on 10.123 the other night, Friday night, and on CW, getting ready for the bug net on Saturday mornings at 6:30 our time. And who came back? I was just test, NU6F, W6LFB, the low-flying buzzard. And Jim was my chief in the Navy. He and Shirley moved to Denton, Texas, many years ago. And anyhow, so that was kind of cool. We always managed to cross paths somewhere, at least once or twice a year. And then we followed up with phone calls and catch up on things. Anyhow, he's been retired for a couple of years, and families, most of the kids and grandkids are up in the Chico area, so he's looking to move back up to Chico, so there you go. But that was a good deal, Jerry, like you say. Oh yeah, you get on to that age and all your ham friends are gone. So that's kind of cool. You've befriended a new one, and that he's interested in some of the old projects like that, so yeah, that'll be a fun one. I mean, that's about as far from the technology that this generation is used to, and it's almost like it'd be almost as fascinating as running across some new software. All right, guys, good deal on all, and Carla, thanks for riding the herd on the net. And with that, I guess we'll say 73, and pass it down to Chuck. Take it away. NU6F.
Okay, Ron, NU6F in the Group K0DWC. By the way, Ron, you're sounding really good on that SCR 274. I forgot to mention that as well. So congratulations on that. You sound really, really good. Good net this morning. And, we definitely appreciate everybody being there to support the net. Oh, excuse me. So anyway, I'll say my 7-3s, guys, and Henry, I'll give you a call this afternoon, sometime this afternoon. I ain't going to be doing nothing outside, so I'll give you a buzz here later on. So with that, I'll say 7-3s, and I will hand it back over to net control. As Henry stated, he'll be net control next week, and then I'll be net control, and then back to Carla again. So W4DBQ to take it, K0DWC, 7-3s, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, K0DWC, this is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor, Quebec. Well, thanks, guys, all of you for being there, and hope to hear y'all next week. So, this is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor, Quebec, going to secure the vintage military radio net. I would like to thank everyone for their participation and invite everyone back next Sunday morning. I'm going to turn it over to the regular amateur radio use. So, this is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor, Quebec, signing off, guys. 73.